There we go, and we are live. Long time no see, everybody. It has been a while since I've done one of these. So today we are going to be working on the VSCode plugin I've been making for Brane script, and also I guess refactoring Brane script in the meantime. Hello, how's it going? Oh, it's not running, that's why. It's like, why isn't it? Oh. So this is what we have so far. Only 2 times of error reported so far, one of which is checking to make sure functions aren't repeated. The other one is checking if types actually exist. So we got like the errors popping up. The highlighting is also looking through the server. As you can see, like all the networking I have printing out in the background. But yeah, so it's reporting like all the tokens for the document. Alright, now you decide what actually, because like I have the general idea. Oh, it's very good. It should be much better now. In fact, it's saying that I'm peaking. So... Wait a second, why do I have 2 desktop audios here? Okay. Let's remove that one. Alright. So let's turn down the mic so it isn't peaking anymore. Alright, that should be a lot more balanced. Alright. So yeah, basically what I had discovered, well, what I realized was my backend, like the scripting runtime that actually compiles and runs the code, it was decent, like it runs very well. However, on the actual like code side, it was very it just worked. Now I can hit, I did. No, it's because I have 2 mics. How about that? That should have turned off one of them. Here we go. First stream from this computer setup, so there's going to be some problems. All right. So, as I was saying, the actual compiler side was not great. It was like the definition of just works, barely, kind of, maybe sort of. Especially since I wasn't using a bunch of stuff like constants and I allowed in the grammar of the language a bunch of things I wasn't actually using. Operators didn't have a way to specify if stuff references or not. It was a mess. It was a mess. So we're rebuilding everything from scratch. We're pushing back demos a few months. We're gonna get everything working good. And I am planning to make a video explaining all of this later. Basically stretch what I just said out into like a 10-minute video. But yeah. Also, the way that I'm coding all of this is much cleaner now because before, so here's like the old compiler. We had all of these things exposed, well, not publicly, but in the header file, and they don't need to be in the header file. So we're just going to define the actual, the thing that walks the parse tree, the parser and lexer and all that stuff, defining that in just the CPP file where it's needed, all that good stuff. So, where do we get started today? When I left off last time, I'd just gotten error. Why is not a type no longer showing as not a type? This confuses me. This should still be erroring out. Interesting. So, let's see. Int. Okay, what's the key? Okay, F9. Interesting. So is the body of the function not getting visited or something? Because what if I... Oh. What if I put it in here? No, that's not what's supposed to be happening. Yeah, I'm like, well, since I named it Brane script, and technically I could shorten it to BS, and everything I'm writing is going to be BS. So why don't I just call it what it is? Helps you also remember it, makes an impression. Why isn't this showing up? We are visiting the type, like right here. And our token serializer, which is also using a different parser. It's just only translating the tokens into something the LSP server can use. That's recognizing it as a type. But our static analyzer, I was not getting this error before. And like it was working like 5 seconds ago. Okay. What if we restart it, restart everything, pretend it's not broken? Because that always works. There we go. Look, it's not broken. But the instant I make any changes... let's see. I might know what's going on, but I don't know the error. I don't know how to fix the error. If we go here to did change, there we go. I'm very proud of myself. I wrote an entire backend for the LSP server in like 3 days. So we have a whole C++ API for LSP servers. All right. So on the did change callback, let's right there. I want to see what the document currently looks like, because I've had this problem where the callbacks aren't being processed correctly or something like that. It might just be a race condition somewhere. So if we view our current document, go to the first. Okay, yeah. You see right here. Well, the pop-up just disappeared. Anyway, so right here there should be not a type, but if we look right here, it doesn't show that not a type isn't there anymore. So like it's showing the new line and everything, but it's not showing the actual thing. So there's a problem with my deletion code. I'm pretty sure it's the deletion code. So let's trigger this error again, if I can remember how I did it. So let's bring this back to where it was before. Restart everything again. And then, what was it I did that deleted it? Is it just a new line? No, it couldn't have been a new line. First, let's make this easier to debug. Right now, when I do get bounds for text, which is basically it translates the document coordinates of a range. So when I get a request from the server, the range isn't just like this character to this character. It's instead this line, this character, this line, this character. So I then have to translate that into an actual range I can modify. So I have to turn line numbers into range, which is a pain because that means I have to iterate over the entire document every time I want to translate these into something usable. Luckily, I don't have to do that too often. It's just like when I actually want to modify the text itself. However, right now I'm returning iterators from here. Maybe it's not the most debuggable. So for now, at least, let's just do size t. Size type. Just say I for now. I is less than text size. Then we could just change everything else to I, except for the dereference, which is just text I now. I++, second is I. Okay. We now have human readable bounds, so if we go back to here, we just have to Let's see. I think it's actually document. Begin. We can just do this. Then, since I don't like this error, we're going to be fancy, and I think it's size type? Yeah. We're just gonna say T. No, I don't want to run it. I want to paste. Oh, whatever. And I think I have to put template at the beginning here as well. Why aren't you letting me paste? There we go. So no longer have the correction, we still have the error. Are you happy now? It is now happy. All right. Okay. It is now efficient and good code. But that should make it a lot easier to debug than raw iterators, because for some reason it won't let me run the standard library functions that allow me to find out the position of iterators from LLDB. So we're just gonna run this, so we get the new thing. We reset this. So it reconnects to the server. I need to figure out a way on the client side to reconnect without me having to restart the editor. Haven't figured it out yet though. Actually, it wouldn't be too hard, I think. That's a problem. We'll fix that after this. We'll fix this after this. Hello. I just completely blanked out. Right. Trigger error. So I think the problem is with multi-line deletions, because within one line it's fine. Is erase inclusive or exclusive of the last one? It would be exclusive of the last one, I would assume by default. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's not inclusive of the last element. Alright, that's good to know. So this one should be fine. We're just creating new text. What we need to debug is deletion. So we go here, multi-line delete, and I'm pretty sure this is what's causing us problems. So just to be sure, oh. Anyway, so here we start out of type. I'm realizing now when I was pointing to the error before, I was pointing over here, not over here, so I might be wrong. And this wasn't a multi-line delete problem. Anyway, we're gonna go with it still. Let's see. So we already have our bounds. Let's see what the bounds are. 266 to 271. Okay, so now how do I... Let's try to figure out a way to debug this. So to data plus first bound second. Dang it. Non-constant expression cannot be narrowed down from log to basic string view. Is it complaining about here? Maybe if I begin. Alright, let's just... We'll debug this in kind of, in a very crude way. Okay, so the new line is the first character to be deleted, which is what we want. '71 is also a new line. Interesting. Right, because it's the end of the line we're deleting. Okay, so that looks like... Actually, we want to be inclusive of the last one. Wouldn't we? No, we wouldn't because... Okay. Okay, that's the correct range. Which means if we now view our document after we've made that change, yeah, not a type is still there. I know this is a bug because I've experienced it before. I'm just not sure how to, well, and we still have the problem. We still have the problem of this not getting walked over. So it catches the bug the first time, but not any of the other times. That's super interesting. And like, we know it's getting walked. Like the AST tree is getting walked. Sorry, the syntax tree is getting walked. because we're getting visit type called for other things. Why did I restart the server? Oh, we have to restart this again. Okay, see, well, this is the first time, so it doesn't matter. The first time works. But yeah, see, not a type. We have an error for it. But the instant I edit anything, here, let's put a watch on there we go. So int global struct int. No sign of not a type or global struct. The function just isn't getting walked at all. This might be a problem with... I might know what this is. Okay, so we're storing everything in here, and whenever we finish, so I've upgraded the compiler, well, not compiler, static analysis. Before it was only a compiler, no static analysis. So we've already upgraded that far. So we can actually analyze the document without actually compiling it. And that allows me to do multiple passes. So we do one pass to grab all the symbols. So if we want to reference a function that's after the function that wants to call it, that works. So it even surpasses C++ in that, because I didn't really want to do like declarations like header files. I wanted it to work closer to C# in that respect. So we do one pass that goes over and grabs all the symbols. So that includes struct definitions, global variables, and functions, as well as libraries, but they're almost like they're containers more than symbols themselves. Anyway, so we do that, and that's like this load and reload functions. So we use reload to tell it if it's changed and it needs to extract symbols again for other scripts to reference. We use, this is the reload if I want to pass a document. We're changing it by reference though, so we just use this reload. Anyway, and then validate does the entire pass over everything. And then we set complete to true afterwards. And I think complete might not be being set to false. So the only things getting walked are the symbols, and that's why I'm only getting integers. Okay, I'm not actually setting it anywhere. Since we set this... Yeah, since we're setting this outside of the analyzer, I'll set it outside of the analyzer here. False, since we are reloading it, which means it is no longer cached. And actually, we already are setting it in that one. And that should be our problem. Okay. That appears to have fixed it. Okay. That is a lot better than the range-based error I thought we were having. I'm still gonna keep it as returning numbers instead of iterators, because that is much more human debuggable and usable, to be honest. It's pretty easy to convert them to iterators after the fact. It's just me kind of flexing my templating skills, and we all know how that goes. Alright, so next let's actually tackle the problem of having to restart the client every single time, because that's not something we want people to have to deal with when they're using the plugin, and I don't want to have to deal with it while debugging. So extension TypeScript. So here's the code that connects to the server. So let's look at the node socket documentation. I believe I can set up a listener for an error, and then if we get an error while connection here, we'll just restart the connection process. Because I believe what is happening here is it tries to connect, it fails, and there's not actually code in the client plugin to retry connecting. It just expects this to always work, I guess. Maybe. It is possible. So I want to use NetSocket since I'm basically using raw Node.js sockets here. You just have to find the right thing. There might actually be... I might be able to pass a call back directly to connect. Actually see. So connection listener... Okay, no, we're gonna have to set up an event. Server dot add listener for the error event. Right. And we're listening. Want to listen for an error. Just like that. And for now, I'm just going to console log to see if this is actually what I want. It's a BS connection error. And then we're going to log out of the error message. Let's test this out. Okay, I understand what went wrong here. Anyway. Undefined. That might be our... What? Why put the thing there? Oh. Right, because... TypeScript. Let's see, what was the run command? To build. How to build. I'm forgetting the command. See, control. No, it's not that. Right, it's Control Shift P. There we go. I think. No, that's not it. Is it just control? Oh, it's just Control P. Not Control Shift P. No, it's not that either. Dang it! I never use Visual Studio Code, so it's just a pain. Alright. Well, it's supposed to build before running, so... Okay, the reason we're only getting a breakpoint there is because I've completely forgotten how to build this. Let's just look at the docs for the actual. All right, there we go. Now we're building. Alrighty. Yeah. So we should be able to actually put a breakpoint here now and have it actually be hit. Maybe. That's right. I want to check. No, I don't want to. There we go. Connection error. It has actually been caught. Error refused. Connection refused. Okay. So this is the sort of thing we want to check for. Let's actually try something first. let's take this promise and call the reject function what are okay, so the reject isn't any. Okay. So let's return the message then. Or not. Yes, I do exist. It is a conundrum. Okay, so we're actually getting an error now when it doesn't connect. Which is good. Okay. No, I don't want to do web view. How do I send in messages? Ooh, I could even make it like have buttons. That's actually better. Okay, where do I call these functions from, though? So overview, containers, item. Okay, so I need to get a reference to window. Okay. Where do I grab window from, though? Is it just a global? Oh, it is. Awesome. Or maybe not. Because, like, it's finding it from somewhere. Okay. Do I have to say VSCode that window? There we go. And then the one that we're going to call is could not connect to LSP server. And we're going to give 2 actions. One of them will be to just give up and cancel, and the other one will be to attempt to reconnect. Okay, so items. What is the type of items? Dang it, it's a template. That doesn't help me much. Okay, so items. A set of items that will be rendered as actions in the message. Okay. What is an item? And how do I define it? Alright, they have an example bit of code. It's not actually showing how to do callbacks from it. Alright, let's consult the Stack Overflow. Okay. So you can define a message item. Let's actually search. Okay, if we go here to the definition of this item, and we search, because we know this is a thing that exists. There's the title, and then this. So how do I get a callback? OT extends message item. So that's how they were like hinting that this has to be a message item. Are there overrides to message item that are maybe like you can like call callbacks on them? No, there are not. Wait a second, this is a promise? This is a promise for T. Okay. Interesting. I have a suspicion. Maybe. So this returns a promise. Okay. I can work with that. Then... Bulls. Right, that's not how you define this because it's TypeScript. Wait, there's a message action item? Oh, this is part of the LSP protocol. Okay, so that's not what I want. Whatever. We will just let's see, so message item has a title. Oh wait, it's string. Alright, then we'll log item. And also place a breakpoint here. So this one's title will be one with the title reconnect. No, not reconnect. So this try again. And cancel. So let's build this. Okay, one error. $17 to actually no, we need to compile this first again. Okay, we got a console log for item. I think, maybe? No. Let's build again and just try again. Oh, still an error. Error action continue. TS6112. Oh. Okay. Okay. I think it should work now. So we actually get pop-ups now, and if we click this, yes! We get an item that is a message. So if we decide to try again, don't need these. Then we need to retain the same promise. But do the same code over again. Let's try putting this all in a lambda, I guess. Nope. And then here, attempt connection. And then I think let is scoped, so let's use var instead, so it's not scoped. Then we'll have it call itself, just like that. Very clean, efficient, and organized code. TypeScript, amazing language. Could not connect. So let's try again. So if we now start the LSP server and then click try again, it works. Now while we're at it, we should probably also set up a way for it to reconnect if the connection is, say, dropped. Oh. and then it just reconnects. All right, so let's reword this. Actually, it's fine. It just could not connect. All right. And let's commit this real fast before moving back to the LSP server. Added server reconnection capabilities. There we go. Are you going to push? Yes? No? Oh, okay. It just has an asterisk there, so I thought it wasn't working. All right. On to the next song that I have lined up. All right. That's going to make debugging this a lot easier because I won't have to ever restart this again. I will have to restart this though. Because when I don't close it normally... So basically this isn't accounting for not receiving a did close, because usually you get a did close callback. You know what, we'll just make it so that this reload callback is the exact same as the load. So you can either load a document or just say, hey, contents have changed. And instead of having this assert here, we will just account for it. So context is if it does not already exist, we shall create it, and then instead of creating a floating unique pointer here, instead we're just gonna say like that. a reference. There we go. And then if the script context doesn't exist, we'll create that as well. Everything else on this looks good. Okay. No more of those errors. Behold, it just connects. Which is very nice. So we get the errors. Ooh, I should probably... So right now I'm saying this is a Hubber provider, but I just deleted that code, so we're gonna delete that server capability, restart, and we should have much less network activity. Any pop-up? Nope. Oh, come on, it was just working. There we go. Okay. Next up on the agenda, we need to put in more error checking. Basically port over everything from compiler that is related to error checking and add some extras like for constant functions and whatnot. Do I even allow for constant functions yet in the grammar? So if we go to function, I do not allow for constant functions yet. Well, constant variables and whatnot, because I wasn't actually enforcing constants, even though I do allow for them in the grammar. So you can see right there. So we need to make them actually do something. And we should make it so you can have references to variables as well, because like, no, I have error checking for that, so we don't need to add the references yet. That's something I'm going to do later. Okay. So first up, let's add add error checking for local variables. So to check if a local variable exists. Because none of the other variables, none of the other error checking works, so it'll just work. Well, it does. Bleh. None of the other error checking will work unless we have the variables in the first place. So when we visit an ID, the only time this can happen is if we're dereferencing a variable or accessing a variable. Which means we just need to pull a this would be a last node. So whatever context we are within, hit identifier. Identifier. Actually, it wouldn't be a node. Identifier not found with this context. Or do I put context in front? Okay, put context in front. It's as easy as that, and I'll just return that an ID won't have any children to visit. So we'll just save some processing power there. However, if this identifier is found, how do I want to do this? We'll do this the same way. We'll do this the same way we do it in my other compiler. Expressions will return expression. When you visit an expression, it will return a pointer to that expression. So let's see, we need to have a context for and this needs to be an expression, so it needs to come after the expression context. Then we're actually going to have return type. Just be like that. Excuse me. expression context instead. Deciding which data I need to store here. Let's do... Let's not worry about scope contexts yet. Actually, let's worry about scope context right now. And use them for the function body. And let me actually check the grammar real fast because, okay, it's a list of statements. All right, I don't just say visit a scope, not an inline scope, scope. So just in the node tree, we'll make it a scope. And then I'm going to add well, actually, don't need to add a get scope context because that will count as a... Because the node does exist, even though I'm pretending it doesn't. All right. So let's take care of variable declarations first. So right now we're returning a value context, labeled value context. See if last node is a if the last node was not an expression context, just return it as value context. Otherwise, instead we want to get the scope. I have to remind myself, does getParent also return the current one? No, it does not. So scope context. As scope context. Okay, fine, I'll make it auto. Otherwise, we'll try searching parents for it. We will add this to the list of local variables. Just like that. Okay, and we now have a way to check if variables exist, because we will always add them. To that. That is a document context, so... Now if we ID again, we know that this identifier will be found, or is found. Wait a second. I spelled it correctly. With labeled value context. And then we can also do a little bit more error checking here. Because this needs to be a labeled value context. There's no way for it to be anything else. So if it's not this, we'll say is not just like that. And let's see if this works, I guess. Well, actually, right. Need to return this as a expression. So something I meant to do with the compiler but never got around to was type defs for the two things. So we'll just say return. And that cast is important for std any or standard any. It's kind of dumb. And then I'm just going to do the automatic cast here for standard any. Return expression. That way we can just not have to worry about casting it every single time. So going back to visit ID. Actually, instead of doing that, because I want it to still be clear what's going on. I'm just gonna have null expression and return expression. Like that. And this is gonna be a memory leak for now until we put everything else together. So, yeah, let's put together VSCode. We actually need to put together visit function first, since we're not really dealing with scopes yet, so there we go. So the function bodies make unique. Just like that. So now we are kind of hiding the function behind a scope context, which means we will actually have something to add local variables to. Then for statement in statements, we will actually need to cast this to expression. So the expression returned from that expression context tree. And let's just throw it into a unique pointer right away so we don't lose anything. And we're going to be doing this a lot. So let's add to our list of defines. This can be a function. Then back down to here. As expression. That is gonna save a lot of space. And if this expression still exists, then we're going to add it to the body. It's like that, and the reason I'm not like throwing an error or anything if this is null is because we will have already recorded the errors once we got to this point, hopefully. Yeah. Though this is already going to throw a ton of errors at the moment. Because of the if value dot type is not equal to type ID of expression context pointer. So for now, this will make it so we can run our code. Otherwise, this would be throwing a lot of errors. It is still throwing errors. Because of an any cast. There's a problem with move? Interesting. Am I accidentally returning a? Do we already have this as a unique pointer? No, I don't. Address access protected. Is this a null pointer error? I don't think it should be a null pointer. Shouldn't be a null pointer error. So we're gonna figure out where this is getting called from. Like, what do we visit that then calls this error? So if we visit function, the problem is within here. Yeah, we'll just have to go with that. Okay. So visit children of. Okay, so we're visiting a member access first. That's fine so far. Okay, we're visiting an ID. Identifier OB is not found. I believe right now we are visiting here. Yep. Which means we're not actually finding arguments yet. I know where to fix that. But for now, let's just focus on this. Okay, so it's doing fine so far. So that function is fine. Moving on to this test function. So we're now visiting a declaration of a variable. Which should return an expression context. In this case. I think. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. This should return a value access context, just in case anybody wants to access this variable by reference. Kind of like how you could do a definition of a thing and then immediately an assignment that would allow for this. So let's see, I think it would need to be actually do that. All right. Why do I have a return there? That's right, labeled access. Okay. And let's just make sure we init this. Just so that we have the range correct. then store reference to that. Okay. I got completely distracted. We were debugging stuff. The Discord ping. Gotta see what that is. Do I actually have a Discord ping, or is it just messing with me? Okay, there is actually a ping. Ooh, new thrill video. I'm gonna see if I can reverse engineer this to figure out where it is. So we visit a declaration. So if we do context, it's not giving me anything to work with here. Get text. Child result type. Okay. Is it expression statement? Okay. We can actually look at this context. I mean, there's no... whatever. Let's go straight for the token. No member name start in expression context. There is. All right. Why can't it just work? Why can't my debugger just work? Okay, we can at least tell which function this is. This is the second function. Yeah, function, identifier, test function. So this is the first test function since we haven't pushed any others to the function list. Ooh, we can also check this to see. Okay, so it's the first expression of this. So, to get straight to debugging, figuring out what's going wrong, can just start this again, reconnect, and then we just trace this down and we find the error. You're now visiting a member access, which will just give us a default result. And we visit an ID. So the problem that we're having is that we're actually visiting an ID in this function. That's when it first throws the error right here. And we recorded not found. Interesting. And then, wait a second. And it's not that throws the error. Interesting. Did I remember to skip past the first function? I might have. I think I forgot to skip past the first function. Which function is this? Member function. I forgot to skip past it. That's why the error wasn't thrown. It's because it's the one not throwing the error. That's why the error didn't get thrown. Using declaration. So we visit this declaration. We actually do find the scope. And we push back this value context onto the scope for variable A. bin, we return the result. I don't have a return on my return expression thing. And that's why the error looks so weird. It's because it... I'm dumb. But no longer. We figured out what was wrong. No errors. At least that I can see. Except for right here. Identifier not found. This is an error in the error system, but it's showing that one error system is working. In a sense. Like, if you were to change this to E, suddenly these no longer show up. There we go. Error checking working, somewhat, kind of. Next we can add things like constants and references and make sure all of that stuff works. But let's make sure that we can actually find arguments. So this is going to be in document context for functions. So function context. Ah, here it is. We want to override a get identifier. C4. Search over all of our arguments. If arg identifier is equal to identifier. Should add an operator for that. Return arg it's just return arg get? No. A reference to arg, I guess. And these don't need to be pointers. We don't need to worry about the vector resizing because the arguments are already going to be completely filled out by the time we're going through there. And that should fix that. And it does. However, the question is, can we also access member vars? We can. Okay, so I have that working, I guess. There's the struct context, get identifier, variables. Yes, it's working. Will you look at that? It is working as intended. Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna leave the stream today. Got some stuff working. I need to go drink some water and maybe eat something too. That'd be a good idea. Anyway, expect video by the end of this month talking about all of this, I guess. And I'm also gonna start trying to stream more regularly. Maybe. That is a very loose, not even really a promise. It is a thing I want to do. But yeah, look for more streams. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.